in the hole. Let's cook some ribs. Let's make them the way the Kang likes them. You know who I'm talking about. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome once again to my backyard. What I got going on for you today is I've got 2 racks of baby back ribs. And we're going to cook these in the style and the way that they cook them at a place called Marlowe's BBQ in Memphis. Marlowe's BBQ is like right down the street from Graceland, which, as you know, is Elvis Presley's mansion in Memphis. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub these down with a kind of a modified rub. I use my Root Boy rub, but Marlowe's uses a rub that's got a lot of brown sugar in it. So I'm going to put about a cup of brown sugar, and I'm going to mix that in with my Root Boy rub, which is what pretty much what's in Marlowe's rub, except for the brown sugar, you know, that's in my Root Boy rub. So let's get that mixed up. I need a little bit more, I think, of Root Boy rub. There you go. Now you're talking. So my Root Boy rub has got everything in it that Marlowe's rub has it in, except the brown sugar. They have a very sweet rub with that brown sugar on there. Anyway, I think I got that pretty much mixed up the way Marlowe's is. So I'm going to take some, check it out, Sang stir-fry oil that my buddy Rivet Gardner got me. Thank you, John. You're a good dude, man. I'm not kidding. So we're going to slather these down with some Sang's stir-fry oil. That's the best binder ever for ribs or brisket or anything because it brings a beautiful garlic flavor to them. They don't use that in Marlowe's, but I'm using it because it's the best. And we get some of this rub on there and rub these ribs down real good with it. And that's a kind of a sweet rub, which I don't usually like, a sweet rub, but that's the way Marlowe's does it, so that's the way we're going to do it. And it still looks really good. Looks really good. That's a good looking rub. That's my rub, my Root Boy rub with some brown sugar in there. Looking really good. All right, let me get my ribs rubbed down and get them hung in the pit barrel. The real magic of this recipe is the barbecue sauce that we're going to make. So let me get my ribs hung. They got to cook for like 3 hours in the smoke and then 2 hours wrapped, and then it'll be time to sauce them, and that's when we'll make our barbecue sauce. We're going to make Elvis's favorite barbecue sauce. And this is a documented fact that Elvis used to go to this place right down the street from Graceland all the time and have ribs. So stay tuned. Let me get these in the pit barrel, get them smoking. Next time you see them, we'll be taking them out of the wrap and we'll make that barbecue sauce. So stay tuned. Okay, the ribs are cooking, so let's make Elvis's favorite barbecue sauce. And what we need is 4 12-ounce cans of tomato sauce. I'm using only the best Walmart store brand tomato sauce. 4 12-ounce cans, that comes out to, I forget. Anyway, that's how much I have here. I measured it all out. There we go. 4 12-ounce cans of tomato sauce, Walmart brand. Next thing we need is some soy sauce. A tablespoon of soy sauce. Tablespoonful of soy sauce in there. That's good stuff. Good soy sauce gives some good flavor. What's next? We need a half a cup of vinegar, and I'm using white vinegar, not apple cider vinegar. We need a half a cup of that. Half a cup of vinegar. It's a pretty basic barbecue sauce until you get to the end. Next thing we need is a tablespoonful of brown sugar. I gotta clean my spoon off. Hang on one second. Clean off my spoon. Yeah. I don't want to dip my nasty spoon in the brown sugar. Yeah, a heaping tablespoon of brown sugar. Because we know Elvis liked it sweet, right? Okay. Heaping tablespoon of, this is the sauce that they make at Marlowe's BBQ in Memphis. Heaping tablespoon of brown sugar. We've got the brown sugar, the vinegar. What's next? We need some honey. 2 tablespoons of honey. Let's get that in there. Honey, you know, honey's problem. That's one. And two. 2 tablespoons of honey. So far, it's a pretty generic barbecue sauce, right? Got to put a few more things in it. We got to simmer it for a while. So it's very tomatoey barbecue sauce, I got to tell you. Okay, one more. Next thing is we got some ground mustard, dry mustard, a tablespoon of dry mustard. Get that in there. That'll give it some flavor. Get that cooked up in there. And we also need some chili powder. I'm using some ancho chili powder today because I feel like it. I don't know what kind of chili powder they use, but I'm using ancho chili powder. A tablespoon of ancho chili powder because I like it. That's about a tablespoon of ancho chili powder. Okay. Now so far, like I said, it's a pretty generic barbecue sauce, right? Well, here's the kicker. The last ingredient that we put in there, it's very tomatoey. Tomatoey sauce. The last ingredient is pickling spice. This is the spice you use when you're making pickles, and calls for a tablespoon of pickling spice. Pickling spice has got all kinds of stuff in it. It's got what's it got in it? It's got mustard seed, coriander seed, dill seed, allspice, peppercorns, bay leaves, and chili peppers. So pickling spice, that's the only like weird ingredient that goes into this. And aside from that, Elvis's famous favorite sauce is done. It just needs to cook for about 30 minutes, and then we have to cool it off so we can sauce our ribs with it. Yeah, look at that. That's going to be some flavorful barbecue sauce with all that crap in there, huh? Okay, we're going to let that cook for 30 minutes, and then that'll be our sauce. So stay tuned. Those ribs are done. I'm going to sauce them the way they do them at Marlowe's. They just take a mop like this, and they dip it in that sauce, and they mop that sauce on there like that. And that's how they serve it. That's how it comes to the table. Mopped up. Oh boy, look at that. How does that look? Does that look good? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a beer, and we'll come back and take a taste of these, so stay tuned. There's the Frosty Root Boy mug, star of the show. I've said it to you before. And here is today's beer. This is from the Twisted Trunk Brewing Company. Is a Florida company, believe it or not. 2 miles east of I-95, the legendary IPGA was born, paying homage to the Street of Dreams. I guess they're talking about I-95, I guess. Anyway, IPGA Boulevard, 2 miles, get twisted. American IPA brewed with the freshest whole cone Eldorado, Cascade, and Simcoe hops, tropical and citrus notes. I'll let you know. It sounds like it's right up my alley. I can't wait to try this awesome brew. Florida born. We're in Florida. And here's a Florida beer for you. Oh, it's very nice. Oh boy, I just spilled it everywhere. Oh man. I hope Victor Bitters is not watching today's episode. Because I just botched that pour so bad. It's not even funny. It's not even a joke. It's horrible. Look what I did to that poor beer. That Twisted Trunk IPGA Twisted Trunk. Anyway, let's sniff the sniff off of that, Lassa. Where you been, Lassa? Come back, Lassa. We miss you. Ah, it's beautiful IPA. It's got the citrus notes and the hops. Delicious. Now let's see if I can quaff the froth off of it. Ah, awesome. Awesome beer. Twisted Trunk Brewing Company. Oh, it's kind of hazy. I like that. See that? It's kind of hazy, kind of a hazy IPA. Hey, I botched that pour so bad, it's not even funny. I got to get one of these ribs in my mouth before I lose my mind. I'll tell you what, they're so tender you don't even have to cut them. You can just pull them off the bone. Look at that. And that sauce on there is awesome. Oh yes. Yes, definitely. That's what you call bone-sucking ribs. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I know now why these are Elvis' favorite. Because they're delicious. If you want to make these for yourself, I'll leave a description down in the I'll leave a recipe down in the description, and you can whip this up for yourself. I got to tell you, that sauce, I have a few things to say about the sauce. I think it's got too much tomato in it, but I followed the directions in the recipe, and that's what I came up with. But it's good. It's very good. Anyway, babies, you know what I always say. If you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, go see my pal Thomas Says. Thomas Says? I guess that's how you say it. Thomas Says. I'll leave a link in the iCard for Thomas Says. Thomas Says just made a video. He made some of my root boy rub from the recipe that I left him in the last couple of videos. He hasn't tried it yet, but I think he's going to like it. Anyway, if you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, go see Thomas Says up there and wherever the hell he's at, and check him out. Subscribe to me. Come back next week. Pardon me. We may not cook anything good, but we'll drink a beer. This beer is awesome. It's awesome. Twisted Trunk Brewing Company. Hey, you're probably watching this. It's probably around Christmas time. So let me say Merry Christmas to you. I'll probably republish my Christmas video from 4 years ago because I haven't made a new one. Anyway, babies, you know what I always say. If you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, go see Thomas Says. Come back next week. We may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. You got that going for you, at least. Come back next week, babies. Bye.